What's up, guys? It's a rainy, dreary day here in North Carolina. Not great riding weather, but perfect for long overdue bike maintenance. Today, I'm gonna show you how to do an oil change on your MT-07. So what do you need to do an oil change on the Yamaha MT-07?
Literally just log into Amazon and buy yourself an oil change kit straight from Yamaha parts. So you got an oil filter, a funnel with a brand new crush washer, and then you're gonna need 3 quarts of oil. If you don't replace the filter, I think it's about 2.5 of these. If you do replace the filter, you're gonna need 2 3/4.
Really the only tools that you need for an oil change on an MT-07 is a 17mm socket for the actual oil drain bolt. You should not need a filter wrench for the oil filter itself. Typically they do come from the factory a little bit tight. I do have a filter wrench. I'm gonna have to mess around with it a little bit to get it to work. If not, most of the time you can get them off with your hands. It should be a couple ugga-duggas. It shouldn't be cranked down to the point where you need a wrench. There's just no need for it. First thing you need to do is move your bike to a point where you can start it up and let it run for about 2 minutes to get everything loosened up in there.
Can we take a second to appreciate the almost no chicken strips on this tire? I mean, there's just so little chicken strips on this thing.
Let it run for about 2 minutes. In the meantime, you can just sip your really sweet coffee and watch the rain. All right, so the bike's had plenty of time to warm up. So we are gonna drain the oil out of this thing now.
So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crack the oil filler cap just so it doesn't have too hard of a time draining. If you're like me, you're poor, so you don't have a normal drain pan. So I'm gonna use this, and hopefully it holds it all. And if not, I'll just go ahead and stop it and then put it in something, and then I'll keep using it. But you know, poverty. This guy right here is your oil drain bolt. Let's crack it open. Get ready to make a little bit of a mess. That was on way too tight. One thing I do, because I don't have a torque wrench, is I keep track of the ugga-duggas that these things take to come out. So, ooh, that's nice and gross. One of the notes, some bikes have a magnetic oil drain bolt, so you might have to clear some like little bit of debris. Your engine is always kind of constantly machining itself perfect. So if you have a magnetic drain bolt, you might have a little bit of like spiky metal here. Just clean that off. It's just a little bit of stuff that comes out of your pistons and stuff. I always kind of like to stand the bike up a little bit and slosh it around, make sure that most of the oil gets out of it. I'm at 5,500 miles. It should have been changed about 1,500 miles ago. There was a little bit of a road trip here, and this is where we're at. We're at this brownie batter level of oil. Don't be like me. I am not a role model. Change your oil when you're supposed to. It's supposed to be every 4,000 miles, not, you know, whenever you feel like it. So it took a little bit of effort, but I got this crush washer to get off the drain bolt. I just used a little bit of a flathead and then just kind of slowly pried it up. You don't want to gouge your drain bolt or you will get leaks, but keep a note, there's a little ridge here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little ridge here. Make sure you install the new washer with the ridge facing the correct way. I have to put a little bit of oil on this just to seal it up a little bit. I also like to clean this up kinda. I also like to clean this up a little bit, make sure that we're getting good seals on everything. There's nothing worse than getting little drippies. Nobody likes drippies. Nobody likes to end up having to put a piece of cardboard down because your bike needs a diaper. So the drain bolt was on fairly tight, so I'm gonna get the drain pan out of the way, and I'm gonna put a couple of ugga-duggas on this. That feels like a sufficient amount of ugga-duggas. Next part is trying to get the filter off. This is not something you should have to do with your oil drain filter. You should not have to use a wrench. Broken loose with that. Sometimes you gotta get creative, you know? Especially when you're a member of the poverty garage and you don't have any of the right tools for this. Sorta at a point where I can hand turn this. I'm gonna put the drain pan back in the way because you will get some oil out of here. It shouldn't be a lot because you pull it all the way out, you might get a little squirt. Hold the filter there and you can kind of deflect it. So as you guys can see, I had to smash this one a little bit to get it off. You should never have to smash one of these. These can be hand tight. There's no reason to go tighter than that. Here's our new filter. This one comes from Yamaha sealed with lube in place. Always use a little bit of extra if you feel like it, just to make sure everything's nice and sealed. Or you can just do what the dealership does and just tighten it down to about 15,000 ugga-duggas. I don't really recommend that if you're gonna work on your own bike. You probably shouldn't tighten it down to any level of unnecessary ooga-doogas, but you know, put a little bit of oil around pretty much everywhere that touches the seal. Let's go ahead and screw it all in. Now that we're nice and oily, let's screw something on to a specific torque. As tight as I can get this on by hand with it covered in oil, which means that it should come off relatively easy later on. I'm gonna wipe you real quick, because I know there's gonna be some drips. It is completely common for after an oil change to get a little bit of smoke, especially if you hit the exhaust. It's completely normal, don't freak out. So we're gonna add our first quart here. Note to self, get a real funnel. All right, so now that we dropped some oil on the ground, because you know, that's me, we're gonna go ahead and add the fresh with 2 hands. Fresh honey oil. There's nothing quite like fresh oil. So guys, the 4,000 service on this bike is not very extensive. It's essentially just an oil change, making sure everything's tight, nothing's loosened up on you, and then there's general maintenance. So there's 2 other things that I'd like to do. One is maintain the chain, and one is going to be check and top off the coolant level. I've already checked the coolant level. You have empty and full markings right here. We're 3/4 already. The bike is idled quite a bit already today, so it's perfectly fine. The only thing else I'm gonna do is I wanna make sure I get a little bit of lube on that chain. I hate chain maintenance. It's my least favorite thing. I don't even think that it's important for a daily commuter motorcycle. As long as it's not rusty and all the links move, I think you're perfectly fine. I think of chain maintenance as like time versus money. I hate doing it. I've never liked doing it. I've never also had to ever replace a chain or a sprocket on any motorcycle I've ever owned, and had motorcycles that had 20,000 miles on it. So is it really worth my time and effort? Maybe not, but I'm gonna do a little bit of effort. What I like to do is I like to break it down with a little bit of light oil like WD-40. I don't have any at the house currently, and it's pissing rain, so I'm not gonna go get any. So I'm gonna use this chain cleaner, and then I'm gonna use chain wax at the end. A little bit of rust is starting on it, but that's pretty normal. Instructions in that chain cleaner is literally just spray on, let sit, rinse off. Let's do it.
Oh, what's up guys? So obviously it is the next day. It is finally stopped raining. It is a beautiful day out here. One thing I always try to end every service with is with a good little bike wash. This thing has probably not been washed in probably 3,000 miles or so. It's been a hot minute. There's bugs and grime all over this thing. It definitely deserves a good little washy wash. And we're gonna stop by the auto parts store here and grab some pre-wash. I'm a big fan of the pre-wash and the wheel cleaner. Saves you a little bit of time overall. Although just any sort of water hitting this bike that's not rainwater will do it very good. God, go. That monster truck. I know where that guy lives. Not to be a creep, but it kind of sticks out. I've seen that truck a couple times. Welcome to North Carolina. Let's park over here in the shade. That way my ass won't be on fire when I come back out. What does this say? Sledgehammer. The back of the guy's truck says Sledgehammer. I bet you he has a small dick. Good, how are you? Appreciate you. Let's see, what do I need? I need a wheel cleaner. An absolute must. I really need to get some fake chrome spinners. Good, how you doing, homie? Ready for you? Yes, sir. All right, appreciate you. Okay. Too. This would be like the perfect time to have like a little pannier bag to throw stuff in real quick. I might look into something like that. Maybe a one-sided bag. I'm not really much on the whole adventure look. Take this bag out and try to wiggle something into it. I just picked up my groceries for the day, so this bag is full. Good old naked sport bike life right here. We're having room for freaking anything. You always make it work though. Somehow, you always gotta make it work. I've never gone back into the store to return anything. Always made it work. Let's ride by old Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer. I think that's a play on words because I'm pretty sure he lives off of Sledge Road. God knows I love a redneck. Since there's so much traffic that way, I'm just gonna go this way. Big circle to flip around Sledgehammer. I feel so bad for Sledgehammer's girlfriend. He's probably got a little teeny tiny guy. Just act natural. Just act natural. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I give different motorcycles different waves. If you're just a normal sport bike guy, you just look like an average everyday dude, I'm gonna give you one of these. Or maybe a princess wave. I like the princess wave, the slightly cupped hand, you know, a little princess wave. You know, but if you're like a Harley guy, you're gonna get a matching level of ridiculous wave. Like if you look like a straight up land pirate, it might blow you a kiss. I'm not really sure. It just kind of, it goes with like what I feel during the day. I don't know if you guys have noticed that during videos, but I give ridiculous waves to people. I don't know, it's fun. It's fun, I like it. Go home today and give the bike a good old washy wash. I don't know if I'm gonna head out anymore today. I might be done for the day, even though it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I might just edit and read and just be a nerd, but either way, the bike will be well serviced and taken care of for the next few thousand miles. Oil change done, chain maintenance done, coolant is good. Find a little bit of coolant to top it off just because it is summertime in the south. And you know, it never hurts. It never hurts to throw some coolant into a bike. You know, as long as it's within normal ranges, it never hurts. I have noticed that like ever since I did my oil change, the bike runs smoother. I know I drained out brownie batter out of this damn thing, so maybe that's got something to do with it. It just, it seems happier like right here, like right where I'm just kind of cruising, chilling, 5,000 RPMs, just in the cruising level. When I'm just at cruising RPMs, it just seems so much happier. I don't know if that's actually happening or if that's just me, but it just seems smoother. It definitely seems happier. I might just I might keep the service schedule a little bit lower. I might knock 1,000 miles off and just start doing services at about 3,000 miles, because honestly it takes almost no effort and I feel like it's good for the longevity of your bike. And I'm cutting you off. No way am I getting behind that dental dam with wheels. Especially not on a fun road like this. I don't understand these guys. Like, find the gas pedal, man. It's like some people just have literally nothing to do at all, and they're just like, oh, I'm just going to take absolutely forever to go everywhere because this is all I have to do today. Just drive around, do stupid things, be dumb. I just got to drive around and be dumb today. That's it. I'm pretty sure that small PB truck, it lives right over here somewhere. A little turny turn. We ain't braking for this. We're just going to lean into it and then accelerate some. I will say it has taken me an exceptionally long time to reincorporate some of the things that I learned in MSF course into my normal riding habits. Like the whole, like, look where you want to go. Like if you think this turn is too sharp, just look to wherever you want to go and you will make the corrections almost automatically. I've noticed a lot, like on my turns, if I see myself drifting in, I'll accelerate. I'll be going faster through the turn, which isn't always the best because you do have diminished radius turns. As long as you're looking where you go, like, you will be set and your brain and your throttle hand will pretty much just work together. It took me a long time to actually implement that from MSF. I've always been a little bit of a bitch on turns, and now I have almost no chicken strips on this bike. I also have bikes that are way too OP for me, so it's like, give a new driver a 8-cylinder Mustang, you'd probably expect bad things to happen. You give me, the Ferro Raccoon, a Ducati Panigale, you know, don't expect the best. There's a couple more fun turns here that I'm gonna hit before we jump off and wash the bike. Please get out of the road. If you guys like the videos that span a couple of days and hit a couple of different topics, you know, you kind of spent the weekend with me, even though this is going to be a shorter video, you know, throw me a comment and let me know. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. I'm about to hit these turns though, I'll tell you that much. I'm going to lean off a little bit. And then switch back to the other side and have fun. Woo! I dragged my pegs for the first time the other day, guys. I'm so proud of myself. Dragging pegs on an MT-07, that is, I feel, like a good accomplishment. Anyway, guys, we're almost back to the house. We're gonna give the bike a good old washy-washy. I'll see you in a minute.